Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid, just going out to Bitcoin, but the CoinsKid cruise. So I was looking at this cycle theory with you, that basically 3 years at 1 year down, 3 years at 1 year down, really, really simple. And this is why 2023, 2024 and 2025, I did say to you, I think Bitcoin will be the year of the bull. And then 2026, we should see that depreciation because it's 1 year up, 1 year down, followed by 3 years up, 1 year, and it just keeps doing that. And so far, the data's ringing true. And this was a tweet I made way back when, in January 2023. So at that time frame, I was looking at meme coins, and one of the meme coins I was looking at that time frame was obviously Bonk, for anyone that pays attention, and that went from, I think it was around about 20 million market cap to 4 billion. It was a huge trade for myself and the CoinsKid crew. And along the way we found other meme coins in recent times. In this impulse, we're looking at Fartboy, which is an amazing community and meme coin, and we're doing extremely well on that position. I think in January we found that around about 8.7k market cap, which is ridiculous. The developer rug pulled it right there. We picked it out the depths, and it rallied all the way to, I think it was 200 million market cap, and now it's floating around about 30. So it's had a whopping correction and pullback. But in that same year, for anyone paying attention, Bonk did exactly the same thing before another impulse into them $1 billion market caps, right? So let's take a quick look at the insights on CoinsKid.com before we do dive into the Bitcoin chart right now, okay? Looking at Bitcoin insights on CoinsKid.com every single month, look at this. So far this year, the bull's winning. So it's on basically, it's right on cue, isn't it? For this cycle, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 months left. If the bear wins over the next few months and outpaces that the fact that the bull's winning this year, then okay, Bitcoin is no longer respecting the cycles, and it's in a new paradigm, a new system, a new influx of investors with institutional investment and things like that. And it's just a new thing basically, and we can't look and respect the previous cycles, but so far it is, isn't it? And typically right towards the end of that cycle, we do start to see the emergence of these altcoins that sort of eventually pay catch up to Bitcoin, and it really frustrates people in every single cycle. We've seen blips along this way. For example, 2023 we saw a massive opportunity on Bonk. 2024 we saw that massive opportunity on Fartcoin that I relayed to you. In 2025, 2025 we've seen that huge opportunity on Fartboy, one of the best opportunities I've ever seen delivered on any content, on any YouTube channel, on Twitter, whatever. It went from 8.7k market cap to 200 million market cap. It was a massive opportunity for anyone that paid attention. I do think these opportunities will come again, but I don't necessarily think they're in red years. In red years, you won't see them big moves to the upside, okay? It's in the up years for Bitcoin because it's just a game of liquidity, so I'll always try and find them opportunities for you, and I'll relay them to you as and when I see them. So 2023 year of Bonk, 2024 the year of Fartcoin, 2025 the year of Fartboy. 2026 I don't necessarily think there'll be major opportunities. We'll try and find them, but I'm looking at 2027, 2028, 2029 for the next big major opportunities, if the data is just respectfully ringing true, which currently it is. So if it's not what we're looking for this year, we have to end red. And we have to obviously see the bearing full control, because typically in previous cycles, as we approach that red year that comes on the 4th year, we do see a red September. There was one just there in 2013. We equally have one just there in 2017, just before that red year, and then again in 2021 we saw that basically red September before the red year. So in theory right now the data is not necessarily ringing the same as previous cycles, because we are currently seeing the uptick. So this is where I'm just expressing to you, please be careful, please be cautious. I do see the liquidity dance trending down still, which is amazing. The macro trend is down, but in the short term I think that we could still be in this correction, and we've just got to be a little bit careful, because if we are still in the correction, it just means that since August we've just been correcting for a couple of months, since coming up impulsively since April. So you're allowed that. So you've been coming up since April bottom, you've topped out in July, you're having a couple of months of a pullback, some bull and bear traps within, and then boom, we come up and finish that move off basically towards the end of the year in Q4. So just be careful right now. If you think an impulse is beginning, things like that, you have to see certain things in the charts, okay? So at the minute, just a word of caution, that's all. That's all I'm trying to relate to you, okay? I hope you understand that. I could be overly bullish at times and overly bearish at times, but if I'm just respecting the data, then we should, if we are approaching this sort of 4-year cycle end, then September is typically, historically it's red before the dread basically of the end of the cycle. And obviously the cycle could be different, it could be broken, who knows, no one's got a crystal ball. So let's dive into the charts and see what we'll see. But one key thing I'm looking at right now is really simple. Done with an indicator. This is an indicator I created for the CoinsKid crew way back when. I think that this blue line will come back down in time, and when it does, that is my exit out of crypto card right there for you. And equally, if we take a quick look at the crystal ball, it does show that we're still trending up, doing really, really well. But I think in September there's some kind of pullback here, some kind of big rug pull just there in the crypto market. So we could still experience some kind of big, shift to the downside. A lot of people get shaken out, and then it reverses and comes back up into Q4. So let's dive into the charts right now to see what we can see. Okay. So looking at Bitcoin on the daily time frame, I would just say be careful right now, because we do see a red sell dot on the daily, on the CoinsKid ribbon on the daily time frame. We have printed a red sell dot. So we go back in time, that was basically ranked to fruition. Look at that, beautiful. And then this one as well, beautiful. And then this one didn't quite play out as beautiful, but what it did indicate for me, looking at that, you've got the A into the high B, which was basically a bull trap. Then you've got your drop C. Now in the C wave, you look for 1, 2, waterfall 3, 4, 5. That was a beautiful bump and run pattern, and we don't quite see it just yet, which is why I do think that potentially where we are is identical to there. So we should come up, make a lower high B, then another drop C into this neckline here for Bitcoin. Okay, so it could indicate right now that this is exactly what we're doing for Bitcoin. We've come up exponentially, just like this. Okay, so this is this leg here, very similar. You got a 1, 2, breakout 3, 4, 5. You got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so very, very similar in structure. So basically this third wave is basically the same as that third wave, and it pulls back in a 4, pull back in your 4, break the ribbon, and off you go, break the ribbon, off you go. So you've come down in the A, you've come down in the A, you come up in a lower high B, you come up in a lower high B, and then you drop in C, and then you drop in C, and then it's all systems go for another run towards Q4 basically. So that would be my primary. If again we're ringing with the data with Bitcoin, that September's bloody and things like that, then it could be an indication right now this red sell dot is, that's what's in front of it. So this is where we've got to, basically be cautious. So we're looking at some kind of A into a lower high B and a C drop into this neckline, then a pop to the upside in the last leg up to that minimal target 1.618 with a little bit of overshoot towards Q4, for Bitcoin, something like that. So basically we could be looking at some kind of pump, then a dump to the neckline. This would be your ABC complete after an impulsive move up, ABC complete, and then boom, you've gone to the 1.618, where we experience your true alt season, you break down the Bitcoin dominance, and so on and so forth. And that sort of last leg that we look anticipating for XRP right there, and that would just coincide with year end, job done, out of crypto, red year next year, that's it. Okay, and obviously I'm looking for the validation, but what's concerning in the short term, obviously, if we are doing what we did last time when we print this red sell dot, we were coming up in that B basically, ABC zigzag breakout, ABC zigzag breakout. So this is where we've got to be cautious. If you're jumping into longs right now without any structure being broken of a potential zigzag correction, I would just be careful, okay? Because from April we've rallied really nice here for Bitcoin. We've come up, we've broke the highs as anticipated. You got your 1, pullback 2, breakout 3, 4, 5. You have seen 5 waves right there, and you've only retraced to, I think, roughly the 236 fib that we retraced to right now. So if we do start to come back like this, keep an eye on this neckline, because that could be the beautiful entry point where we do start to break exponentially here for Bitcoin. Okay, but I do think, again, respectfully, if 5 waves to the upside, we are running that steam here for Bitcoin. I can't see it continuing for much longer to the upside, and if we do start to do that, then you've got your resistance there, support there. You rally into that leg of resistance once more. That's your last point of contact in a basically rising wedge, which is a bearish reversal pattern. Slam bang into the 1.618 Fibonacci extension, and then boom, you rug pull back down into this zone here, which would be absolutely amazing. And obviously the validation of that in the short term is if this is the top right now, it's pretty much like where you were there. You come down, you break up, make the higher high, and then you drop, and then you drop, and you start to print before capitulation. Then we should be losing this trend line relatively soon, and at that point, we've got to project down. So it's all about this neckline going forward for Bitcoin. Okay, hope and stand update. I keep updated as best I can. I've not got a crystal ball, can't see into the future, but if we are repeating what we've done there, Bitcoin should lose its neckline over the next few months. It's not my primary, but obviously anything can happen. I'll react to the price structure and the pattern that I see and relay that to you. If it breaks down below this structure and support, that's your target around about 50, minimal target around about 51,570. Okay, for Bitcoin. Hope you understand the update. Stay up, stay tuned. Take care, everyone. Back to an update on Bitcoin. Bye bye.